The famous coach summed up the difficult season. Eteri Tutberidze rarely gives interviews, but lately, the coach has become more open in communicating with the press. A few days ago, Eteri Georgievna answered why she wasn't at the state awards ceremony. "I got sick. Will I receive it in some special order? No, I think when the next award will be." And now she talked to TASS and answered many exciting questions. Skaters this season were asked a lot of questions about where they get their motivation from. The problem concerns not only athletes not from the top itself, but everyone after participating in World Championships and the Olympic Games. It is difficult to focus only on domestic competitions. This question worries not only athletes, but also specialists. Now they talk a lot about the problems of motivation among athletes, but it's not easy for coaches either. Subjective things also do not add joy. Psychological pressure. A lot of dirt is poured on our team. It is not easy to create masterpieces in such an environment, Tutberidze noted. Eteri Georgievna added that they are overcoming this difficult period as a family, all the skaters and coaches of the group. And the hardest of all is Kamila Valieva, who continues to perform, but only at domestic competitions. Adelia Petrosyan and Sofia Akateva did not have many international tournaments. It's hard for Kamila Valieva this season. She is growing. At the beginning of the season they talked about her lack of coordination on jumps. In addition, the skater is under constant pressure due to doping trials. The athlete often shows polar emotions. Sometimes she can get very upset, and after a few minutes she is already smiling and laughing. At a press conference after the free program and the finals of the Russian Grand Prix, Kamila said that it was difficult for her to perform at Yubileyny after all the events of the past year. Eteri Tutberidze added to the skater's words. After a short 6-minute warm-up, something surged over her. She came out and cried, "I can't ride here." We tried to reconfigure it as best we could. In general, she was much better prepared than in the end we were able to show. Well, who, if not me, should know that constant pressure cannot become part of a habit? The task of Sofia Akateva and Adelia Petrosyan in the Grand Prix finals is to try new content. The girls now have 4 Ultra C jumps in their free program. So far, not everything has worked out, although Petrosyan managed to win, and Akateva was a little short of prizes. Was Sonia upset about the 4th place? According to Eteri Georgievna, Akateva took the result calmly, since there were many mistakes. But in general, I want to say that I see no point in moaning over the results from start to start. I was not in Perm, but I heard, for example, dissatisfaction with the fact that Sofia Muravyova had to win against Elizaveta Tiktamasheva. These athletes have the same content, but for so many years, Liza, of course, is more component, which means that it is only possible to beat her with more difficult content. An interesting remark, but in the context of the figure skaters, they are not from the group of Eteri Georgievna herself. Further, the coach said that the constant discussion of the results was very annoying. They were looking for scandals everywhere. In the fall of 2021, Eteri Tutberidze's student Daria Yusacheva was seriously injured at the Grand Prix stage in Japan, after which she was treated and recovered for a long time. Then Dasha went on the ice, but she failed to restore triple jumps, and even double jumps to the end. We tried to restore Dasha for a very long time, but she started to jump, and the pain returned. Perhaps this is a psychological moment, phantom pains. Each time I sent her back to the FMBA for consultations and examinations, she was with a variety of specialists, including Christian Schneider in Germany. It got to the point that the doctors no longer see the reasons for the problems, but she still hurts. I'm not a doctor, it's hard for me to say what it is. But she cannot jump. Eteri Georgievna said that Yusacheva had already come to Krastelny with this problem. Pain always appeared at the beginning of the season. Tutberidze was against Dasha's trip to the Grand Prix stage, but her mother and the athlete herself insisted on this. Later turned out that the older sister of the skater had finished the sport due to the same injury. It was the Olympic season, and Dasha really wanted to use her chance. 2 days before departure, we had a conversation in which Daria's mother, an athlete, and doctors were present. I was categorically against the trip to the start because it seemed to me visually through her movements that the pains intensified. In this conversation, Dasha's mother insisted on her participation, and Arya herself cried and asked to give her a chance and not withdraw from the start. A few days ago, news appeared about Yusachiva's attempt to switch to ice dancing. She tried out in Dubai with Dario Chirizano, but the athletes did not fit each other in height. Tuppence confirmed this. She tried to pair up with the dancer Dario Cirizano, but she needs to look for someone with whom she can study calmly. And Dario needs a ready-made partner, with whom you can already go out and compete. Dasha believes that she will succeed in dancing. We must try to move on. Maya Kromek sparkled in the final of the Russian Cup 2021, where she performed 2 quads at once. The figure skater did not qualify for the Olympics, and this season she did not compete at all due to an injury. Eteri Georgievna revealed the cause of the damage. From the initial position of the short program, I made one push, stumbled, caught the prong with my left hand, missed the ice, and the prong rested on my hand. It ended very badly. There was a big loss of blood, convulsions. She was taken away by an ambulance, then there was an operation. And not immediately, the doctors postponed it for a day to invite a special neurosurgeon. This injury was so complicated. Maya gained weight during her injury. It's impossible to fight both loads and weight at the same time. It's dangerous for the back, says Tuppence. Therefore, now Kromek does not jump, he rides in a corset because of a back problem. The Italian joined Eteri Georgievna's group last year. The skater himself says that he has long dreamed of studying with Tuppence, and this moment has finally come. 2 years ago, the specialist was not ready to invite him and share her experience with other coaches. Now the situation has changed. They once again talked in Boston, and cooperation took place. I have always been very closed in terms of exchanging experience with other specialists. This only happened a few times. When I took Sergei Viktorovich Dudikov to the team and when Daniil Markovich Glikengos came to us. And we became one team. Yes, I am passionate about sharing my experience with other professionals. But we really trained and train, including athletes who compete for other countries. Recently, information appeared on the internet that the team of Eteri Georgievna will hold a series of international master classes. Not everyone took the news well and even promised their employees sanctions for participating in this project. We are artificially deprived of the opportunity to work at the international level, and suddenly there is a chance to do something new. Let it be through master classes, why not? I think it's about time. The idea belongs to Alexandra Lakarnik, and this is not a state, but a private project. First, a series of master classes will be conducted by the team of Eteri Tuppence, later specialists from other schools.